What's up, guys, and welcome to the show. So it's Monday, which means it's the Lucha Libre news / rant show. So we're of course going to be talking about a little bit of news that is probably you guys already know about, but we're going to go on about it. And we're going to start off the show with some extremely sad news. Universo 2000 has passed away on Monday. No, I don't know if it was Monday, but May 1st, it was announced that he had passed away. Universo 2000 was of course a Lucha Libre legend. He was a 30-plus year veteran of the Lucha Libre industry. He was of course survived by his son, Universo 2000 Jr., who carries on his father's namesake in the wrestling ring. Universo 2000 was not only a huge Lucha Libre legend, but he was also a good friend of the channels here at Shelby 85's, and he will be dearly missed. Of course, our condolences go out to his wife as well as his son, his brothers as well. He was of course multiple trio time champion. He was of course a member of one of the greatest trio tag teams in Lucha Libre history. He's definitely left his mark on the Lucha Libre world, and will definitely go on as the greatest of all time. Now, in an interview, La Park has stated that in weeks leading up to his death, he was of course in rather rough shape. Universo 2000 suffered 2 heart attacks 2 years in a row. One heart attack 1 year, and then the following year he suffered another heart attack. He was in of course rough shape afterwards as well. He was 55 years old at the time that he had passed, and like I said, he had a 30-plus year career in the ring. He of course left his mark on the CML world as well as the AAA world. I just watched a match of his not too long ago, actually. But of course, like I said, he will definitely be missed. He was the longest reigning world heavyweight champion in the CMLL, which was 2,225 days, which is probably the longest heavyweight champion like anywhere. He is of course has a combined second time he was world champion, so a combined length of 2,555 days he is the world champion for. So definitely can't beat that guy. He'll be missed by everybody as well as by us here at Shelby 85. Like I said, he was a good friend of the channels as well as a huge legend. So now we're of course moving on to other news, or not so much really news as of right now, because they made their debut back at the end of April. We're just reporting on it now. MAD made their debut or return to the ring. Of course, their debut in AAA. Now, they also, at the end of this video, is going to be their video. They ended up posting a video to the AAA YouTube site, so we'll be showing you guys that at the end of this video as well. So those you don't know what MAD is essentially, it's pretty much like the end, or it's set to be like the NWO of the Lucha Libre world. I know a lot of organizations, once WCW went under, a lot of organizations tried to create their own success of the NWO and stuff like that. Like Impact tried it, WWE tried it, a million other organizations tried to recreate a NWO type faction, but this is pretty much the Lucha Libre's attempt at the NWO type faction, I guess you could say. This is going to be rather huge in my opinion. It of course is the MAD. Is of course play on words for the organization that it was formed in. It was formed in the Lucha Libre promotion, MDA. Of course the acronym for, I can never remember the acronym, but I can't remember what the MAD stands for. It stands for Masters Association of Destruction. It's a stable that is, of course, led by the Lucha Libre legend himself, Conan. Of course, in the stable you have Lucha Libre, pretty much legends. It's filled with legends. Juventud Guerrero is in it, as well as Sexy Star makes her return back to the Lucha Libre world. Of course, through her involvement with Mad. Now, they made their debut, but I didn't see Star when she did make her debut. She was, of course, absent from that. Unfortunately, Teddy Hart is involved in the faction as well, which is pretty horrible. L0 is a member. Kevin Cross is a member. Like I said, Juventud Guerrero, Sexy Star, El Divo has also been added. So I mean, pretty much everybody in this faction is pretty much has legend status. Conan is, of course, heading the faction, and I'm pretty excited to see how well it does. It, of course, when it made its debut weeks ago, it pretty much destroyed a bunch of, you know, kind of lower end type losers, and then it came back in the ring and it destroyed some pretty high named legends. So they're definitely you know, making a name for themselves. They're letting the people know that they're there, that they're now you know, they're full force. So I'm very curious. Of course, the members will be, of course, climbing the ranks of AAA. Now that AAA and Impact have the partnership, they'll probably, of course, be climbing the ranks of AAA and then jumping to Impact, climbing the ranks of Impact, taking over Impact, taking over AAA, that whole thing, and of course making their you know, presence known in that type of universe. Who knows what it means for the Lucha Libre world, but also the wrestling community. I'm hoping it does really well. I'm hoping it sticks around, and I'm hoping it's as big as a thing as they're making it out to be, with who's joined and who's said to, of course, be joining. I'm pretty impressed with it so far, but hopefully they don't, you know, tank it. So hopefully that does really well, and fingers crossed that the MAD do, you know, really very well. Like I said, it's kind of like an NWO type faction. It's just like they're taking over. They're doing like shooting promos and coming out with promos, kind of like the NWO did. And then they're, of course, doing their takeover for AAA and that. Of course, the guys within the faction will rise to the ranks of heavyweight champion, mega champion, Latin American champion, that whole thing. So it'll be very interesting to see, and I think you guys should definitely stay tuned, because I know I will be. Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Like, comment, subscribe.